All right, let's go ahead and call the election board meeting to order. It is February 12th, 2024, 9:04, and we'll start with attendance. We've got all the election board members here, and if you are here watching today, if you wouldn't mind signing into the sign-in sheet, that would be great. We elected to put approval of minutes on our agenda, so let's go ahead and do that. We've got minutes from November 17th, 2023, which was certification of the 2023 municipal election. We don't have any changes or motion on those. I'll make a motion.
A second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. All right, let's hop into vote centers for 2024. So we previously, last year, did make one change already to our vote center plan. We changed First Christian Church of Newburgh location for early voting and on election days to be at the new Ohio Township Trustees Community Center on Liberty Road in Newburgh. We also have we were going to have discussions with the school corporation. They, for this year, were able to make the general election a no school day. I think it's actually a online day, if I remember right. They have the general. So in November, it'll be, I think, online only that day, which makes it easy for us to use the schools. In May here, though, for the primary, they still have school session for plan and still do. So I did reach out to the school corporation. They had a lot of reservations with Sharon Elementary School, just due to the inability to keep that area secured for the rest of the building. It's very central in their building. They have a classroom in the gym, off the gym. And students that walk through there, so they just have a lot of concerns. The statute requires that you secure the voting place location from the rest of the building, and they just have a lot of trouble with that. But they did agree to let us use it here in May, along with Newburgh Elementary School and Boonville Middle School, which we've used for several years. So we're good to use all three of them again here in May. And of course, November won't be an issue since they don't have any students. But they did implore us to please find an alternative location for Sharon when we come around in 2026 for elections again. So that'll give us plenty of time to figure that out, but we should be good, but we're good for this year.
I would prefer that we find other locations other than schools, because of the security of it. And I know Sharon's been a bad place to vote for years because of the traffic and all that. So, are there alternative places we could use besides the middle school, Newburgh and Sharon?
There are places we can always explore. They did let us know they're fine with letting us use Boonville High School, that gymnasium. They don't really do anything with that gym during the day. It's a separate building from the school, the main school. So they're fine with letting us use that.
It used to be a
Yeah. They did offer up County South also. County South has, it's really easy to lock that community room down with the rest of the school. So they would have no security problems or concerns there. The parking and everything would be in the back. But my only thought with that one is probably, it's an issue everywhere, but student pick up and drop off times, that 30-minute window would be pretty busy. But aside from that, they didn't offer that. We got Living Word right there, so I'm not sure that we really need two right on top of each other, but we do have, they did offer that. So there are some options. I like schools for the sake that everyone knows where they are. They have parking. parking usually, handicap accessible, big open spaces, it meets all of our needs. But I do understand in this world, there's security concerns. I can remember, and I'm sure you guys do too, I remember election day was a huge day for us when we were in school. It was a civics day. You learned about elections every election year, every election day. You learned about elections, you walk down, you observe people voting, and it's just not that way anymore, I guess. But
I want to make sure that I'm with Tanya on the schools. I worry about the safety of the kids. And I want to make sure that the school corporation doesn't look down on us for this. I don't want to say look down, but get down on this, like pushing.
they were very understanding. It's hard to find, I explained to them that it's not preferable to be changing locations, changing and changing and changing, that if we need to make a move, we can do that, but we want to have the time to make sure that it's a move that we can stick with for a long time, and not have to change it every election, because it just confuses people. And I completely understood that. And they did request that if we could speak with the sheriff's office about getting some additional security there, which we can do. We'll have to be careful about where the deputies sit, but we can try and work something out. Yeah.
I have information on that as far as law enforcement at the polling location. Did I share that with you, Metro?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We can't have them in the polls or in the chute. Sitting there, so we'll have to work out where they sit, but we'll just have to.
Did I agree?
We'll work that out. They were very understanding. They understood we have to run an election, and that's an important thing. And they also, and of course, I acknowledge them that we understand security issues are also important. So I think we're all good with the school corporation. They're good for May, and of course, November will be an issue. They did say if they can, they'll build in days to where the students aren't there on election days, but they just can't guarantee that they've always been working every time, which would be nice if the whole state was just that way on election day, but it's not. So here we go.
Is the library not an option? They've already said they could move the Springville Middle School to the library.
It probably is. Either that or the high school, either one, it's right there next to each other. So
Right.
we probably wouldn't want to both of them.
I don't know if you probably not been to Springville Middle School during the morning or pick up time.
The bus, the drop, the
It's
parents
bad.
drop off right there, don't
It's
they?
horrible. Yeah, if you're not, you can sit in line for half an hour before you ever get up to the front to pick your kid up if you don't get there at 2:30.
Okay.
So I just think there's got to be better options than using the schools, is what I'm trying to say. So,
We can
what's up?
certainly explore those. We won't need, like I said, the next election, that the schools will be involved in, won't be until 2026. So, I can get that figured out.
I've checked with all the locations, just, to see if we were still on board with all of them. I've heard from everybody except, which I feel like they will, let us, is United Steelworkers. I've left a couple messages with them. Probably need to bring this up, we've talked about that too, though, the region. That's the past 3 elections, we've had problems there with the electricity shutting down onto the panels, and their machines would be in the middle of a voting and it shuts down. So,
I would agree, we probably need to find another location for that.
And also, I'm sorry, Tim, the Folsomville Fire Department has suggested that we use the Folsomville Methodist Church
So I contacted, the Methodist Church. She's supposed to, I've left a couple messages. Actually, the fire department said, we're right next door. They have asphalt. Are you familiar with that area?
I know it's a brand new church, yeah, that's the other one first, but.
So he said they have, everything is much nicer there. And he said, just a suggestion, we're right next door, but, so, she left a message, I guess, with Angie that I could talk to her this afternoon about it. So,
That's good, it's right next door, and it's asphalt, I think they have a gravel lot at the fire station.
Yeah.
And I think they've had some problems there with the Wi-Fi too.
What are your suggestions on the region, your thoughts on the region?
the 4-H center is just right around the corner. Practically, they're so close.
True.
If you bumped up the number of machines that you have at the 4-H center, then, you've got all the parking there. And, they usually just set it right in front of the door, as soon as you walk in, you have a wall. You pick up several machines there, so.
So you suggested just combining the two?
Move that over.
And not use the region at all.
I mean, it's a good location, but it just does not have this. And they have, things that they have scheduled, activities and stuff there, so the voters are.
You set up for something last year.
And then they have several things that they have already set up,
Kim and I talked about that, I absolutely agree. It's not that far.
I think it's a good option.
So what if, let's say, Kim, since you're talking with Folsomville's church, Methodist Church this afternoon, we, to change the location, we have to amend the vote center. So, we need a motion as unanimous decision. And I would suggest, I guess, the motion be to move, Boonville Legion, 4-H, I guess remove Boonville American Legion, and move the Folsomville Fire Department to Folsomville Methodist Church, and then, Jim's conversation. If that doesn't work out, first then we'll leave it.
I'll make a motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. I will, make the changes on the vote center plan document and send it out to you guys to take a look at. And if it all looks supportive, and Patty, you can just make sure that it's set up for the recommendation as soon as they receive it, and it's special. Okay, any other discussion on vote center locations?
Can we go over, Andrew, and let's state each location right now?
So we have Elberfeld Fire Station, Glenville Community Center, Freaking Township Community Center, Folsomville Methodist Church, or Fire Department Methodist, I forgot. The Tennyson Community Center, Glenville Middle School, Quail Crossing Country Club, sorry.
Okay, good, I'll do the rest. That'll be easier.
What was it, Quail Crossing?
I seriously have a problem with that, with Boonville Middle School, as far as the traffic in there. That's going in and out.
Angie? With us visitor.
And Kim can attest, and Anya, as to what the traffic flow is in there.
Is that one to, look at this next round when we look at all the schools, and, or if we can get through one more election here?
It's bad. people are complaining, parents are, about complaining on so long. My opinion,
The whole front of the school is taken up the school bus. And the whole back of the school, the gymnasium, the tennis courts, they're like all the way out to the highway down the street, and there's 2 roads. So, I mean, 2 lines. I realize it's just, morning and evening, but
It is,
that's a busy time of evening whenever, figure out
it's
3.
a 12-hour election window. An hour of it is a little more inconvenient. To me, I wouldn't move it now. I understand it's an issue. We should address it, or address Sharon, and I would just wait.
you don't want to track the library.
I'm not opposed to the library, I'm not, I just, if we're making one change in Boonville already, I think move another one in Boonville right away. Have we been talked to the library, we can do that, we're open.
Cindy Warren said she had talked to the library. But that was a new person in charge now, so.
The Newburgh Library, the issue we had with them was, that those rooms are their income. And taking those away, it's public building, so it is what it is, but, at the same time, if we have alternate locations, we said fine, we'll find that place. So it worked out fine in Newburgh, but Boonville, couldn't be there.
I wonder what Sharon and Newburgh Elementary is like in the morning, if they have the same problems that,
I'm sure hospitals,
yeah.
you have your flow, drop-offs.
Jimmy, I wonder what the issue is now with Glendale Middle School. Is it more students? What, because they didn't have this last year.
Did they not
They've always-
wrap those students that have drop off right there before? Is it always been like that?
But the weight has not been.
It's, that weight increased whenever the 6th grade got moved to middle school. So you have, you know,
It's just amazing how many school buses there are, and there's still that many parents that are taking them.
Kim said that, or somebody did. That was just my concern.
Or do we wait on the schools and do it all at the same time next year? Figure it out.
What about-
Unfortunately, this is my last term, so I'm not trying to, but I want to deal with it. I would, as a citizen, and wanting to keep the kids safe, but.
Is the church across the street from Sharon, is that, do they not want us, or is that an option?
I think they, it was a couple of years ago, they said they would be willing to let us do it, but I haven't talked to them recently. Yes, right. Funded right there, I agree with the building in the back that we.
we had it there,
Yeah,
the precinct. Yeah.
Right. So did we check with the bank since it's so close to the school?
So we can check with them. I think it'd be, the recent things work, a good alternative location.
But you're not wanting to do that until 2026.
Sharon's definitely a bad place in a bad situation. And Italy, thank you. I mean, you could always check into these other alternatives and then take a look at another landscape. Not a rule that says we can't, is there?
Anything you want.
So which ones were you wanting to check with? Abundant Light and
The library.
Library?
Newburgh Elementary is the Legion and Newburgh in city limits, or where's that line?
The Legion, so I don't think you got this.
It used to be 3 and 4 every day. Yeah,
We're trying to keep something down there for town elections. Do we, I don't know, I haven't been in that Legion in a while, I mean, we used to use it. That was, it's probably been 6 years ago now. That was 2020, we used it in 2020, didn't we? Do we want to ask them as well?
I think it should.
did they say no?
Do you all mind, Kevin, maybe reaching out to those three and see what they say?
So looking at replacing Sharon, Newburgh Elementary, and Boonville Middle School with the Abundant Light, the library, and the Legion.
Awesome. Great. Can we clear which library we're talking about from Boonville Library? Okay. Well, reach out to them, so we can say if we need to do another meeting, we can do that so that we can adjust things.
And how soon, Andrew, do we have to have our amended votes on the plan?
I don't think there's a, what do you mean, how soon after we pass the motion we have to have it in? I don't think there's a requirement. I don't think there's a requirement for a number of days before the election. But I'm aware of it.
Okay.
We can verify that. I don't think there is. We have to publish notice of the meeting at some point. So I remember if it was 30 or 60 days.
I think it's 28.
Okay. So before then, for sure. Okay. Now, what else? We were going through this list, so the meeting, so it's at 4-H Center now. The Warrick County SOP, Chandler's Community Center, Epworth United Methodist Church, the Newburgh Living Word Christian Church, the Ohio Township Trustees Office on Millard,
In place
and Preston First Christian. Right now, still Newburgh Elementary and Sharon Elementary, and United Steelworkers Local 104 and Zorg UCC. So we'll have 17 book centers. Okay. Let's talk about days and hours for early voting and locations for early voting. We've got, we're required to, of course, have early voting here in the election office for 30 days before election day. Our satellite locations, we're required to have one, with being a vote center county. Those hours can be set by us. It doesn't have to be 30 days. So right now, that location in Newburgh would be the Township Trustees Office, Ohio Township Trustees Office in Newburgh. And previously, we also had the Bridgeville Community Center as the second satellite location.
that was not as successful.
Not well attended. We have talked about reducing we did the early voting in 2022. We had satellite locations open for the full 4 weeks, and that was just way too much. So, talked about reducing that down to 2 weeks the next time, so we could do that here, for this year. Just have that early voting open for 2 weeks, and including the 2 Saturdays before the election day. Cut down on strain on workers and also cost. Then, the hours, we set however we want the hours, 8 to 4 and 6, whatever. So, thoughts? Oh, and the location, whether we want to do a second location in Linville or not. All up for discussion. Whether or not to have 2 satellite locations, both Newburgh and Linville, or if we just have a second one in Newburgh, and folks north of Louisville would just come to Louisville to early voting.
And are you wanting the trustee, 2 weeks as well
2 weeks, I think so.
for someone, and 2 weeks here and
4 weeks here. We have to do 4 weeks here.
we have to do?
How much is it? Here's 20.
I guess my question was, are the satellites required or is that the optional part?
We have to have one satellite. Yeah.
I would say the minimum.
So it's going to count as 11 months.
And then the
I remember the numbers. I don't remember what the numbers were, but I remember it was very low burnout as a landfill for early voting and cost portion. Didn't financially make sense, but of course we had it for 4 weeks, so it made it much more expensive. But we can discuss that. I'm not one to try and leave out the northern part of the county. I don't want to do that. But at the same time, if they typically vote on election day and not early, or they mail their ballots in, or in a lot of that, many of them voted in Louisville. Even though I had a location in Leadville, they still came here and voted, probably because they were trying to find work or something. So it didn't seem like it was well utilized.
Question, are we required to have the same days and hours for the 2 satellites? Can we do like 1 week in Linville and 2 weeks in Newburgh?
They don't have to be the same. We don't have to. They would,
I would think he was.
whatever we do in the primary, we have to have it at least or more in the general. That was an issue we ran into in 22. We wanted to reduce it, and in general, we found out, oh my gosh, it's way too much. We couldn't change it. So we can always increase it if we find that we didn't do enough in the primaries. We can always increase it for the general, but we can't reduce it.
One like you, I don't want to leave out the northeastern part of the county. And we're reducing the number of weeks. So, that's it. And people maybe weren't aware of the end of what's in there.
And I've heard that. You know, but they didn't know it was there.
I think it's all about the advertising and the message out that there are vote centers and you can vote anytime you want to within those 2 weeks.
It's, I don't know how else we could advertise. I mean,
Is the water company going to advertise? They put something in the water bill?
Ask Leadville.
We've done other gas bills.
We did.
Yeah.
We did send it out everybody's tax bill. Of course, I don't really get folks that own property.
Well, if you've got a dog loose, there's a Facebook page in Linville.
just for one.
Oh, Elberfeld has one, Linville has one, Tennyson, they all have their own little Facebook areas. Oh, yeah, if there's a dog loose or anything.
Just flyers in local businesses, grocery stores, laundry, dry cleaners,
True.
Ask
fast
Claus,
food places.
ask Claus down here, I'm sure that Bridget and her husband just put it up on the leaderboard. And I think the banks would too. I know that Boonville will. Yeah, the city hall.
Do we wanna, give it another shot? It's a presidential year, so it's been a year. Just do the 2 weeks at both locations, see if we can advertise it better. If it's still a poor turnout, then that might answer our question for using it in the future.
You know, somebody else that would do it is Mrs. Carter. She's a great, her garden is the best garden down besides, because she's got, what, east and west.
Gotcha. Yard signs or yard signs.
And once again, we have to remember we're talking expensive, which is,
With 4 workers, so you're looking at, say, 500 a day.
I was thinking, you remember, I was thinking you all have built into the budget 2 weeks, right, and all the locations. I don't know, for this location, now, did you do 2 weeks or 4 weeks? 4 weeks. In your budget.
Another thought for the entire county are the church bulletins. You know, that doesn't make hardly any effort at all.
Churches can be steer clear of any politics.
yes.
You know what, I don't think so. I think that if you ask, you always take you.
It's just public information.
Yeah,
They're advocating you about it.
I'm not saying what you vote for.
2 weeks and see how it goes. Or I would say we could do one and see how it goes, but this is a lot of stuff going on that front end, hopefully, and
One. Yeah.
I decided you were saying something.
I'm sorry, were you saying just 1 week in Linville? Is that what you were talking about?
Or both of them, but we were getting a lot of people that can go early. Not necessarily Newburgh, but I'll be come to Newburgh to go early. It's the main thoroughway, it's all highway, it's just for people no matter where they work or going down to the store or whatever. So it does get a lot of.
I think we need to be the thoughts. I think we need to be consistent. If we're gonna be, when I say consistent, we would have to do, if we're gonna do 2 weeks at the trustee, then I think we'd have to do 2 weeks in Linville. And then 3 weeks here. That's just
I
my
like that.
thoughts.
I think so.
8-4 here, right?
Yes, sir.
Did we do an 8 to 6 any time before?
There was no, like,
Did anybody come after that?
no,
Yeah.
I mean, that was, they were,
Are you asking here, or are you asking at satellite?
Okay.
Because
or,
Here, those were
wasn't that what,
our biggest days.
they
After
did not
4
come
o'clock,
after?
They
It
did.
was nothing.
Like the satellite
Not normally.
locations. Greg ran all those numbers for us, for early voting back. So the out of 8 to 6 go with the satellites.
Those are definitely were the big days. That extra 2 hours really, additional voting. I don't have those numbers with me right now, I apologize. But also, we found Fridays and Saturdays were the busiest days.
Kim's got a pretty good memory though, she's not here.
Not here.
No.
Well, probably most people thought, okay, it's 4 o'clock, Tuesday, it's closed.
No.
What it is.
Once again, I think we need to be consistent. If it's satellite, 8 to 4. Right, yeah. We don't want to be
Well, I'm fine with just 8 to 4 across the board. We got 2 Saturdays also, and of course, election day. That makes, and mailing in with they can't make any of those. They can apply for an absentee ballot. So I think there's lots of options available to take these down. So Monday, Friday, 2 weeks, and then the 2 Saturdays before the election day, and then Monday, the day before election day, would just be a half day. That's early voting starts at noon on Monday before election day. And Leadville Community Center, Township Trustee's Office, and their election office. All right?
So the half days on the other 2 locations as well.
Correct. Yeah, all early voting has to stop at the Monday before election day.
No, I mean, like to have it, because we had just here also the half day and shut down the.
Oh,
Yeah, the Saturday was normally the last
The
day.
oh, you do not have the half day on
No.
Monday at the satellite location?
No,
I didn't know.
I'm sorry, I disagree. I distinctly worked the Monday before the election. At satellite.
And you stopped it.
And we stopped at 8.
Maybe it was, maybe it was last year.
20, that was 20, 22.
I'm sure we didn't do it last year, but
Last year, so it's just moved their location and probably didn't.
It used to be, because before and after holiday, voting is now closed. On Monday before, yeah, yes.
I'd say we just leave it open on, all of them open on the Monday that it is presidential year, so. We'll,
So you want the satellite, the 12?
yeah, we like close it all down, bring it all here to the election office.
What were the hours for Saturdays?
8 to 3.
8 to 3. Okay. Any other thoughts on those? Days, hours, locations, early voting? I'll get a motion to approve those days, hours, and locations.
I still move that we give those hours and locations and be available. No, we don't say. The township office on River, because I used to get to, I mean, I know where it's at, but.
A lot of departments, yeah.
Yeah, because it's between
nice place.
Oak Grove and. Yeah,
Go through, or it's between the highway and Oak Grove.
yeah.
Oak Road, it's at the corner of Dan and Route.
We probably need signs to get people there, you know, people who haven't been going down that road, will think on the road. We don't have to
It's like
do
on the corner there, stick a, early voting this way. We had a motion.
That's my money, and we're talking something.
I know.
I'm just concerned about the onions.
I'll second the motion on the, favor of those days, hours, and locations, early voting, say aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
So which one are you against?
At, 8 to 12 on Mondays. I guess I want to.
You worked that, were you busy on Mondays before election?
Yes.
The only reason I
4 hours.
wasn't,
This is the day right before the election, so it's now fixed.
because I'm really trying to, because I was told, I don't know how much that's gonna cost. I was told to get home
$50,
as much as I could.
maybe $50 after that.
No, we just,
Oh, to rent the location.
No, for the workers, it would $50 for half day, 100 for full day.
So here, roughly,
it depends on how the workers.
500 per day for a full day, 250 for a half day.
I think the early voting does not have to be unanimous. I think we're still okay with that. If it does have to be unanimous, then we'll send it to the meeting again. We'll look at that.
I could make a motion after I look at that.
Yes.
And that's the only reason I'm doing that.
Right, that's your job. That's why you're on, like, actually puts you on the board, because as clerk, you get the budget, you check all the day-to-day information on it. Okay, what about workers? I don't, I thought that was on your, I don't see it now, but, let's talk about workers for election day. I gave you, I sent out a spreadsheet. Do you have that?
This is the old one.
And
I showed it from.
how am I gonna, I'm gonna mess this up, I, there's time, I don't think. Okay. So here, I put on here what we did in 22 for each of the locations, both the primary and the general, how many workers we had. Also how many machines we had. We had way too many in primary, if you remember, so we cut it way down to general. This is a presidential year, that was not a presidential year. So it's so hard to estimate and guess on this sort of thing, but what are your own thoughts? In the 2020 general and primary, we had those precincts based, not vote centers, so we can't really use that as a guide.
I just heard, the end of the workers, there was way too many people there that had no reason. So,
Yes.
You get a primary.
I heard that from the inspectors.
We had 157 machines in the primary in 2020 and 97 in the general.
2022.
And 22. In 2020, we had more locations, but we had 178 machines for both the primary and the general. So that was 20, twice as many, on 24 locations, so 50% more locations. I would think that our numbers should probably be somewhere between the middle, between the primary and the general 2020. We're looking at these numbers. Like Elberfeld Fire Station, we had 6 in the primary, 4 in the general. I don't, the numbers in
You're
Elberfeld.
looking at 2020 under.
Yeah, 2022, what you got on your spreadsheet right now. So, I would think 4 or 5 is plenty there. Same thing with Glenville, Picken, Olsonville, and Tennyson. Those are just not big turnout places, so 4 or 5 machines is probably plenty there.
Three on machines or workers?
Machines.
Okay, we're switched.
Okay,
Yeah, because
You
you started
use
out
it.
workers, okay, so machines.
machines.
I want to do something primary.
For this primary, here in May. If 3, 4, 5 machines for those locations is plenty.
Okay, that's a stupid question, because I don't know. You have a machine that's going to cut out on the machine, which probably can balance the primary, correct? Or do they?
The ballots, all the ballots, all the machines have all ballots. And all the machines all the machines this year will have the VV paper rolls as well. Do, what do you want to start out with? These two, so 3 machines and 4 machines.
Him and I, we sat down
Sat
and
down and gone through
looked at these numbers and, monies for them. And, that's what the money.
The machines, if I remember right, what is the number, the magic number when we hit it, bumps it up 101 or something like that?
Programming.
Uh-huh. We're gonna get over that this time for sure, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And I'd asked for that. In the budget.
Yeah.
And with microphone.
so did you write down what you thought for these locations? Were you thinking 4 minimum each location, or?
For the smaller,
For the
yeah,
smaller
for the smaller, yeah.
So Ellerville, Linville, Pigeon, Folsomville, and Tennyson, 4 each of those.
Yes.
Then Linville Middle School,
And then you said Albertville, Glendale,
Pigeon, Folsomville, and Tennyson. Linville Middle School, somewhere between 11 and 7. 9,
I'd say.
it's a busier location for Linville.
It's an 8.
I'm trying to think, they like them where they have set up, so they have set up there. I mean, they can accommodate 4 or 9, either way.
We had 9 there in 2020.
Over the
Yeah.
Okay, Trail Crossing, 4.
1.
4 there.
It's just hard to,
We could be part of that.
Skip over the Legion. 4-H Center, we had 7 in the primary, 4 in the general. With the Legion over there as well. We're probably take that highly in
On the 4-H thing.
yeah, 6 or 7. Probably would have it. 6. The FOP, probably just the 4s needed there.
4-H is 6.
FOP, FOP was 4. Chandler Community Center was a big one. You think 8? Or you think 9?
I'd say 9. Like Glendale Middle School.
Good. Epworth, Living Word, and the trustee's office are the 3 biggest locations. They're the big ones.
I think you're gonna see more at Living Word because
Right
the other
there.
place is new. I mean, Ohio is new, so you're gonna see. You're not gonna see the traffic that used to be.
So a larger Living Word than
We had-
Epworth.
In 2020, we had 16 machines at Epworth, 14 at Living Word.
Because we cut it way down to 5 or so. And it's,
We did, I would think for those 3 locations, probably over. And we did start with 12. You're dropping pretty quick. We're just on the game, down on that. Dropping the number.
Yeah. We have a public discussion.
you have a question or something, so. Do you know, well,
At each one, all three of them?
yes.
So Epworth, Living Morgan, Ohio Township, 12 of each.
Newburgh and Sharon.
I would just keep it open.
Eight.
I would keep Newburgh at 8,
The eight of them.
Sharon,
Oh, Sharon, we're hoping you can make that. The library,
Okay. Just do eight for now, we'll see where we go. And then the 104 and Zoller, just do 4 each of those.
I agree.
We can see it, you know, do it in 2022.
but then the Shane Fair is not coming down for it, assuming it's not using our country.
It's a nice look, it's nice.
Great.
Yeah.
It's just out there. All right, so each location will have inspectors, 2 judges, 2 clerks. So then the question is, do we need the location need assistant clerks to assist with number of machines and people there? For 2 clerks can't handle 12 machines, previously, so effectively. So if we're looking at the larger places like Louisville Middle School, Epworth, Living Word, trustee's office, maybe even Newburgh and Sharon. Those are the ones we can consider assistant clerks to help process to get those voters moving. It also depends on how many iPad check-in locations you plan on having. You've got more than 2 iPads sitting there, you gotta have another person sitting there with that, make it better use.
And I don't think we need six.
6 additional assistant
Like
clerks.
we did.
Yeah.
I just like,
Um,
because you have, your judges will be, your inspector will help people, the judges will help, and
So only 2 at the larger location. Is that what we're saying?
Well, it depends how many iPads you have. So if you have 4 iPads at a location, then you need 4 people sitting there. So that's 2 clerks plus 2 assistant clerks. And then you don't have anybody to help get people from the iPad to the machines. So you got the 2 judges doing how you can't for people.
Two assistants.
So how many we have, how many iPads we have?
you have to decide that too. So you've had as many as possible.
I would think that you put 2 at Louisville Middle School. Help with those, the larger number of machines there, and Chandler. And I think you put 4 at Epworth, Living Word, and Township Trustee's office, Township Trustee's office, because you're gonna end up with 3 or probably 4 iPads, maybe checking in there, whereas Louisville Middle School, General Elementary, you probably add a 3rd iPad, so you really only need 1 extra person sitting at the table and 1 extra person to get taking voters to the machines. Can you run those numbers against your budgets and see how that looks?
When you need it, yeah.
look at these numbers.
Yeah.
2 for Boonville Extra, 2 for Chandler, 4 for Epworth, Livingward, and.
Yeah.
Okay.
See how that looks with your numbers. Early voting, how many you want here in this office? How many people, machines do you want?
We had,
4 machines and 4 people, or
Oh, well, more,
yes.
4 workers, you can,
yeah. Kim and I have talked to workers, our general workers that normally work here, and we're gonna have a tough time getting them to get here. Because all of them except they don't need to forward either.
and let's do 4 then, it's not overloaded. If we need to add, we can try and look at the parties and get some more, if it's too much traffic for them. Glenville, just 4 as well. What about First Christian Church? I'm sorry, Ohio Country Trustee's Office.
Or what they're,
And we did it. I think we can swing getting 6 workers for those 2 weeks at the church. At the trustee's office.
we can give you number,
Look at
but,
that as well.
yeah.
We might, if we can get 6 workers, we could throw a third eye guy out there to check in. It's busy, process a little quicker. Patty is coming to the commissioner meeting this afternoon to talk about storage and election and voting machines. Now that we have these bigger cases, so it takes up more room to store them. So that's going to be discussed, and we also need to discuss with the commissioners delivery and pickup of these machines at some of these locations. Some of them that only have 4 machines can probably still do it like usual for pickup of machines, but there's just no way to fit 12 of those large cases in anybody's vehicle.
In conversation with other clerks in the other counties, they actually use moving companies.
Yeah.
If you have a highway department, they could do that. If they don't have the
I mean, did you ask me?
highway department.
I don't know if they have any box trucks or not.
I've never seen. You do?
No, I don't ever say do.
I know Vandenberg is them.
I would think we just, yeah, 2-minute truck or something like that, probably. You don't, if we arrange the workers, say we rent a U-Haul truck, then we gotta try and arrange workers. If we wanna, if you're arranging the workers, I think we wanna try and, the best we can, get a bipartisan team. If we just hire it out to 2-minute truck or moving something like that, whatever they are, we don't control them. We don't have to worry so much about party affiliation. We would be able to control that with an
But, that delays getting
But-
back to us on election night, but, I mean, what do you do?
I think, we don't usually need the machines, sometimes we do, if we do, you run across something, we run, we'll delay it, but. So we keep exploring and trying get some pricing maybe for moving companies to do it. And if that's too expensive, maybe we look at renting the truck and we just might have to find some volunteer drivers.
I think that's part
Oh,
of
the highway department might be able to give us drivers and we can get a truck. That might be an option too.
I think that's something that we discussed too.
Get some quotes on moving companies, maybe just some more trucks.
Well, then you'll have to, it's commissioner's responsibility to get those, so that you would have to.
Give them something to present to them.
And as far as the rental goes, I mean, the highway department took a U-Haul, didn't it?
Yeah, then if you got one that's drivable or just a trailer, yeah. We'll do that. Okay. Other business, we had two, applications we need to address, right?
Yes, right, we have. Let's see. That one was Mr. Bernard. And
Yeah.
this is one, a copy from,
So one voter who, put down Ohio 24 for precinct committee man. Should have been 12. And I think on the map that we just, it's not listed correctly in our system, so we just need approval to, we just need a motion to approve allowing that Ohio 24 to change Ohio 12, right?
this is the email that I received from you.
Or was it from 12 to 24?
2004, isn't it?
No, it's 24.
24 to 12.
24 to 12, yeah. So we just, motion to permit the candidate to update this PM37 with the correct precinct, Ohio 24.
And I just want to make sure everyone is clear that this was not something that was in our system. It was a statewide voter registration system, just so everyone knows that. There was no misinformation given to them.
And the election division suggested this, that it be brought before us and the election would take some sort of action to approve that.
I make a motion.
So he's actually in Ohio 12.
24. 12. Okay.
He thought he was in 24.
Gotcha. So approve his application to change from Ohio 24 to Ohio 12. Right?
Mhm.
I will second that motion.
Some of those just came in this morning.
So any discussion?
I just wanted, as long as we can do it later.
So, to, vote, all in favor, say aye. Aye, 3-0. Okay, one more. And application for delegate, and instead of the commissioner district, we put a council district, and so instead of commissioner district, it should be one.
And speaking with this individual, he was supposed to send me a letter, but I didn't get anything.
So he's just going to be.
Just put the word delegate.
Yeah.
Oh, delegate, okay.
They just put the wrong commissioner district.
I move that we approve that.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. 3-0. Anything else, Patty?
We have two individuals that have not filed their financial statements that were due on January 17th. Certified letter has been mailed to both individuals and to date have not received a response. On one individual on the forms, I was told that that's the address of her treasurer.
Okay.
So this person asked if I would send a copy of the letter to her, and she would then forward it to our the elected official. So
Let's do that, and if we don't hear back soon, let's set another election board meeting, and we'll send another letter that says we're going to have a hearing of the election board meeting, and we'll be there to beg for forgiveness, I guess. Okay,
Okay, with that.
that's great. Okay, anything else? I've got another meeting. Across the street.
Sorry.
Really.
Do something really quick.
We'd like to start the process for having the people who are working get a raise. We ask them to work a 14-hour day because it ends up being that, no matter what you do. They need a raise.
We can make that request to the county council. I agree with you. I think it's probably been that way for a long time, and it's probably time to up it.
I know Diana's been that way since I've been here, and I totally agree with you.
I've been working since 2008. I think we got to raise it some point. Get something for that.
We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. We are adjourned.
I do have a question, what we think the process is going to be like at the end of the election day. We're not bringing back the equipment. We still want to bring back the chips from the tablet.